across manifold dimensions? Probably. But there are certainly beings from other dimensions right around us. Right now. The cat, if you ask me.
Single hand coming out?
Look at that. Some say this, others say that. That's not really what it's all.
Cool. What's that gooey stuff? Is that your blood?
Oh, my body is disintegrating.
What do you mean?
It is the effect one has to bear when staying in another dimension for too long.
Does it hurt?
Yes.
They're having a blast out there.
That's the toolbox I've borrowed from Truda. An empty jar.
It's the orgone collector.
A couple of self-sealing stem bolts.
A small collection of hydrinos.
An ectoplasm interference oscillator.
A hyperlogic coupler. A cosmic slipstream capacitator. Gasoline powder. It's an excerpt of the Tonklin diary.
Interphasic coil spanner, quantum flux regulator, ODN recoupler, scissors. That's a prototype of the Valentine, a gift from a friend.
How are you holding up?
Don't worry about...
Can I ask?
Yes?
Fleeing?
There were bad things happening back home. And as soon as I stumbled out of the portal, those really wicked scientists got hold of me. They sure love their tests. You really don't want to mess with them.
I think I met them too.
I escaped, went undercover, and since then, tried to find a solution to finally get home. Which is where you come into play.
This is so incredible. All my calculations, all my predictions. It's going to take years of studies to understand. I always thought parallel universes and different realities were a predictable possibility. But this? I don't even know where to begin.
Don't worry, you know it in theory.
How did you escape?
Through the door, when they weren't watching.
What were you fleeing from? In your dimension, I mean.
Someone blew up our planet. I would rather not talk about it.
Catch Carlson or not?
Look at that. Without, that's not
Cool. How are you holding?
Don't worry.
Weren't you just about...
See, you humans define yourself as some kind of entity that exists inside this corporeal shell. Kind of a consciousness that is somewhat attached to this bodily mass. Where it stems from and why it's there in the first place is totally abstract to you, right? And these two eyes of yours, they define the center of your cosmos, of your perception. Yet there is so much more. You humans need to understand that there's more to the perception of the universe. It's all there. You are just incapable of seeing it. Distant stars and galaxies, sea beams, the Big Bang, all these things you're missing out on. In order to gain a higher understanding of things, the fabric of the universe, to understand the very meaning of your existence, you need to overcome that self-centered view. have to see the whole picture. Hans, if I could just open your eyes.
You make it sound as if everything we did was wrong.
Let me put it this way. You have not experienced common people until you have heard it in the original by William Shatner.
About the quantum discriminator.
Yes?
I totally lost track. What was it I was looking for again?
Take a look at these plans, will you? We need a power source. If this was my dimension, I'd recommend using one of those handy 90,000 volt batteries. I'm afraid that's not an option.
Whew. That's a lot of juice we're needing.
We do need a particle accelerator. Has to be small enough to...
A brown tube, maybe?
Could work.
I just had an idea.
An interface to control the device. Get a keyboard, buttons, any kind of
I understand.
And a really potent coolant. It's going to burst if we can't keep the temperature low.
What do you have in mind?
Water won't do. Think of something.
Okay, I'll be back soon.
She's the landlady here.
Precisely.
Truda?
So, Professor, did you take a look-see around the area?
You could definitely say so. You may call off the police.
How come?
I've got my notes back.
But the inspector is already on his way.
Then just call him off in person if he's early.
As you wish.
I would like to ask you something.
Oh yes, of course.
Does the name Lazarus Taft ring a bell with you?
Haft. Oh yes, indeed. Doppelkopf player. If you ask me, he's a sham. Ripped my guests off to the last penny. Shady type. You better not get involved with him.
Oh, I think I already... well... Ah, never mind. I'll be leaving then.
Make yourself at home.
Hi, Lainey. What's cracking?
They are showing the Great Twilight Area Celebration Marathon today. 12 hours of bliss in a row.
They're having the ever-so-riveting town fair outside. Wouldn't you like to go out to the real world once in a while?
The real world is in there, can't you see?
You'll get square eyes from all the tube rays.
I'll think about it. But for now, I need to keep on watching.
A brand new Yikes.
Modern cuisine. Garnished.
Looks a bit...
I don't want to take this with... A dim oil painting. Some of the... Locked. This is the frame for our quantum discriminator. It's almost finished. Still missing an energy source. We also need a coolant. Also, and last but not least...
I don't even know where to begin.
Don't worry, you know it in theory. Now, the quantum discriminator emits a coherent Tetrian beam into the portal.
Projecting a metaphasing trajectory matrix.
Precisely. Then the projected tachyon pulses allow us to modulate the frequency in such a fashion that
the portal synchronizes with the exact temporal quantum coordinates. A rift in space-time.
Exactly.
This is sensational.
I thought you'd like it.
It's the orgone collector.
It's the window to my room. The antenna provides
Mr. Tannhauser? Step right up.
Hello. How do you know my name?
It's a small town. Penelope Hades. My sister and I run the boat rental over at the lake.
So, are there any prizes?
Our first prize is an all-day boat ride on the Truberbrook.
How much for a ticket?
One ticket, 50 pfennigs. But I'm afraid all tickets have been sold.
Bummer.
I'm sorry.
I'll be leaving then. The mere thought of cotton candy makes me shiver. The real thing is just gross. The mere... Out of competition. It's a shooting gallery for kids.
Patience, just a moment, pal. I just need a moment to reach operational temperature. Patience, just a...
Baron Otto Teton of Truberbrook Suds, reunited with his tomcat claws. Baron?
Mr. Tannhauser, good to see you.
The pleasure is all mine. How is Claus doing?
He's resting. My loyal Claus.
Are you enjoying the festivities?
Yes, take a look around. All these lights, the beautiful music. This is my Truberbrook, in all its splendor and glory.
Have you ever heard the name Lazarus Tuft?
Taft, yes, a real good for nothing. It's not that I don't like strangers, especially if they come as tourists to my beautiful Truberbrook, but I was suspicious of this Mr. Taft right from the beginning. If you ask me, you better not mingle with him.
Oh, I think I already... well... I need to be on my way.
Until next time, Mr. Tannhauser.
A cone of roasted almonds. 10 pfennigs. I'll have a cone of roasted almonds, please.
A cone of roasted almonds right away. There you are, sir.
A leaden trophy. Like a trophy made out of lead.
Step right up! Step right up! Wanna put your bronze to the test?
Bronze?
Right, all right. That was, not so bad. Just between the two of us. You could use a little dose of vitamins, don't you think? Always remember, a healthy body equals a healthy mind. Step right up, mister!
Is there...
Scores! The winner of the night gets a trophy.
Oh, okay. Consider me sold.
Right. That was, not so bad. Just between the two of us. You could use a little dose of vitamins, don't you think? Always remember, a healthy body equals a healthy mind.
He's wearing a violin neck for a peg leg.
Arr. Beautiful here, ain't it?
Very. What's a sailorman doing out here in the sticks?
Well, I don't like water that much. I'm just so happy to be here with both of my feet on dry land.
But aren't those stereotypical sailor's clothes you were wearing?
So?
So you have a fear of water?
Aye. Thalassophobia. It all started when I was a little boy, back home, on a sweet summer's day. I was swimming in the lake when my Uncle Ulf suddenly cannonballed in. I will always remember these two massive cheeks rapidly closing in. To be honest, it's still haunting me today. I nearly drowned back then. Later I realized that was the day I developed this terrible, terrible fear of everything deeper than a puddle.
If I may ask, why did you become a sailorman if you're so scared of water?
I asked this myself many times. Well, my mother insisted that it would be best for me to face my fears. So naturally, I became a sailorman.
This is so confusing.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
What happened to your leg?
Well, that happened on my second job at the piano transportation company. I don't really want to go into details, but thanks to the mercy of a rueful instrument manufacturer, I got me this nice new leg. And due to a timely taken disability insurance, I now may enjoy a quite decent invalidity pension. Far away from the stormy sea.
That's a nice story. Or is it a sad story? I can't decide. I think I'm needed elsewhere.
Take care!